Said dead.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Eddie.
And this is PJ.
And this is Mega Midnight Gaming, episode 3. Cool, so what's up, PJ?
Oh man, it's been a long week.
Yeah, it has. It feels like it's been forever since we did a podcast, but it was.
I know, right? It was
same
only last
time
week.
last week. Yeah.
We actually there was a moment where I didn't think we were going to be doing the podcast.
Oh yeah. We're doing it late. We're going.
Usually we start at
midnight.
like 11 to 12. Now we're starting at midnight and we're going to go to like 1.
Yeah.
But
cool. We got a lot of. Ooh, bless you. We got a lot of feedback this week. A lot of people talking, which is awesome. Some people posting on the Facebook, the YouTube, sending us messages. I had a couple of my friends on Facebook comment on it. Really cool.
Yes. We gotta get everybody in that. Well, I've started linking the videos to the Facebook page now.
Yeah.
Or putting links to the page in the video, so that way if people are curious, they can check us out.
Yeah. And in case anybody doesn't know, I think the coolest way to view our podcast is to go on our YouTube page, Mega Midnight Gaming, no spaces, and check us out on there because PJ has done some really awesome video editing where he has...
It's not actually all that awesome. I realized later that I had made a mistake in cutting the second episode together, and I never... Because normally the first 2 episodes, they have just the Mega Midnight Gaming logo on them.
Yeah.
And in the second episode, there are pieces where I put video in, but the video is smaller than the logo, and for some reason I thought the program would immediately transition into just the video and hide the logo, but it didn't do that, so it looks really tacky with like the footage pasted over the logo. But lesson learned, right?
Yeah.
So there probably won't be any footage on this one simply because I'm tired and I need to go to sleep to wake up tomorrow. But next week things should be fine.
Yeah. So we'll, definitely check us out on there. We have a lot of videos up, and I love last podcast. I really do.
Last podcast was good.
Yeah, it was
good.
fun. It was fun watching the video while we're talking about what's going on in the video without knowing that we're talking about what's going on in the video. It's pretty cool. It was really cool.
It was very meta.
Yeah. So yeah, check it out. This one probably won't, but next one will.
Yeah.
So
I don't have unless you guys wanted to go up on like Tuesday, which I don't really want. I like keeping the weekly schedule on Monday.
Yeah.
The podcast should be up on iTunes soon.
Yes.
I've been trying to figure out the server issues to feed because it's way more complicated than it needs to be. But it's definitely in the books for planning.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I can't stand iTunes. I hate that program. But yeah,
I love
we get up
iTunes as an interface. It's just hard getting stuff on there.
there. Yeah.
And once that happens, once I learn it, then that'll be fine. But my classes all ended this week. Tuesday was my last official class.
Oh, awesome.
I am now free for an entire month from today.
Oh, nice.
Before I have to start one summer class.
Awesome.
But otherwise, it's all good. We both saw the Avengers.
Yes.
I went to the midnight premiere on Thursday.
And I went tonight.
You just got back.
I just got back just now.
Which is why we thought there wasn't going to be a podcast.
Yeah.
Because I forgot how long that movie was.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even check before I went, but it was great.
The movie's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah,
that was such a good movie. That was such a good movie. I got to ask you. You probably know this. The last guy. You know, if you stay after the credit.
Yeah.
Who is that? Is that Devil Boy?
That's not even a person.
Oh, Hellboy. I'm thinking Hellboy. Why the hell?
Yeah,
Hellboy.
Yeah. The Hellboy is not even Marvel.
That's what I was going to say. I was so confused when I was watching. I was like, Hellboy, what the hell is he doing here? I was so confused.
Now I know who he is, but this will go up on Monday. I don't know. Everyone's seen the movie. Oh, all right. So spoilers.
Oh yeah, this is totally a spoiler.
I'm gonna warn you now. I'm gonna pause for 5 seconds to give you time to skip. Okay. Now I'm gonna explain it. Last chance. It's Thanos.
Amazing.
Who is a big Avengers villain. Like he's sort of like the big main Avengers bad guy.
Okay. Yes.
So they're just showing that he was the one who commanded the alien army that they gave to Loki.
Okay.
And he will be the bad guy in the next Avengers film 3 years from now.
Awesome. Well, really cool. The movie was great. Don't want to give away any more spoilers. But
did you stay until the very end of the credits?
I think so.
Did you see the scene with them eating?
No.
What? You didn't stay all the way. Oh my God.
There was another scene at the end.
Yeah. So do you remember the scene right after the big battle?
Mm-hmm.
And Iron Man is landed and he's like unconscious and then he wakes up. Excuse me. And he's like, we should get some shawarma after this.
Oh yeah.
Shawarma sounds great. So then the scene at the very end of the credits, like all the way at the credits, after the copyright is gone and everything, is just a scene of them eating in a shawarma restaurant right after the battle.
Oh, that's really funny.
They're all still in costume and everything, and they don't say anything. They just eat.
That's
and
really
for some reason, it's the funniest thing I ever saw. It's my favorite scene in the whole movie.
No, it was really funny. It's a really funny movie, really epic movie. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved that movie. It was really fun.
I was genuinely surprised. I mean, it's Joss Whedon, so I expected some great stuff, but it came together a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we really don't want to give away specifics.
Yeah, because there's so many specifics that could be given away. So, yeah, we'll shy away from that. But we'll tell you guys it's an awesome movie. We probably didn't need to tell you that because you've probably been hearing it. But really,
in case you were still wondering, you should go see it.
Go see it for sure. It was so good. Cool.
Yeah. So we got a couple things in news here. So we only cover the really big stuff. So biggest news this week. Well, there are two really big pieces and one slightly smaller.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one is probably the Elder Scrolls MMO reveal.
Yeah, big things happening this week in way of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
That's a huge announcement. Where we're going to hear more about it, probably E3.
Probably E3.
Yeah. So, but we got a little sneak peek, a little bit.
Yeah, there's a trailer out. There's a screenshot. Let's see here. It's not being, for those curious, it's not being developed by the guys who made Skyrim, like that same development team. It's not them. It's made by separate people. It was actually started probably. It was actually started before Skyrim was in development.
Wow.
Because they said it's been in development for about 5 years.
Wow.
And Fallout 3 came out in 2008, so they probably didn't. Well, they might have started working on Skyrim around then, but even still, 5 years ago was 2007. So
yeah.
It should allow.
Oops, sorry.
It takes place 1,000 years before the events of Skyrim.
Wow. That's cool stuff. That's exciting stuff. Something that I heard time and time again about Skyrim was, I wish it was online. I wish it was online. It's all I heard, and I know it can't be online. And for people that play Skyrim,
but it can be. See, so hold on before we get into the discussion. I just want to get to the details real quick.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to cover I don't know at launch what it'll cover, but the goal is to cover the entirety of Tamriel,
mm-hmm.
which is what the name of the world in Skyrim is. So it should have Skyrim or Cyrodiil and Morrowind and Daggerfall, and all those areas will eventually be in the game, right? It'll have all of those areas. It'll have a lot of PvP content. There's some political system that they gave vague details on that will allow you to be, that will allow you to control the throne of the Emperor and stuff like that. Cyrodiil is the big PvP realm.
Okay.
And there will be 3 factions, and the gameplay is like WoW, like it's a skill bar MMO. You know, so that kind of deal and whatnot and stuff like that. But yeah, besides that, not much else is known.
Yeah.
E3 is obviously a prime aspect for more details and stuff like that, and it's not going to be released until next year.
Okay. So that's not a huge ways off. We've waited longer for titles like this.
Well, yeah, you remember the wait for The Old Republic?
Oh, yeah.
They announced it in 2009, and it came out at the end of last year.
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as MMOs go, that's not that long to wait. We're waiting a year. Let's predict that maybe they push it back a little bit, but they probably won't.
Yeah, but 2013, you know, the entirety of 2013, somewhere in there will be released.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, you were saying about people always wanting...
So I've heard people wanted there to be an option within Skyrim, the single-player game, to bring other people into your single-player game, to go into their single-player game. I never felt it was possible with Skyrim, because they would have to balance the classes.
Well, not necessarily. So... Yeah. See, that's what I want, and that's why I think this MMO is so pointless.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that they want with this MMO is money, and you know, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But what do you call it? But I mean, like, look at Borderlands. Right? Borderlands is an open world. Sure, it has zones where you have to like load areas and stuff, but you know, it has some pretty big continents or areas, and you have up to 4-player co-op, and what you do there is you just add more enemies. Certain enemies become different types that are, you know, stronger variants.
So like
that
more of a
co-op.
More of a co-op aspect.
Well, yeah, just drop in, drop out. You know, take your take your character from your single player and be like, hey, I'm gonna go join, I'm gonna go join Eddie's game, for example, and I can hop in if I'm like some dude who specializes in archery, or you're a wizard, etc. You know, just buff the enemies.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I think what I was more aimed towards, but anybody who's listened to the podcast for a little bit knows how my mindset is. I'm always geared towards PvP. That's always where my head is at when I think MMOs, because PvP was my thing, and WoW, that was all I did. And definitely PvE, I feel like a multiplayer Skyrim was possible.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was going to want PvP, because then it's just you fighting your friend, and that's kind of... Sure, you can do like a duel thing, which was allowed in Borderlands, but that was never the main point. The main point was to go and just kick major ass. I mean, could you imagine like being able to hop into the same game and fight like 2 dragons, like, alongside your friend or something like that?
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting. I preferred Skyrim sticking to single player. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my history with the Elder Scrolls series that I always enjoyed that aspect of it, that it's the single player that I play. Like, it's one of the only single players that I play. The kind of religiously I always get them. But I definitely could see where the people who wanted to do multiplayer saw the possibilities and wanted them. Yes. And I'm hoping that this MMO lives up to those people's expectations.
It won't. People are already flipping out. Well, I mean,
I've heard that a lot.
It's a skill bar MMO, which means the gameplay, it's third person as well. It's not first person.
Really?
Like
I didn't know that.
Elder Scrolls games are.
I didn't know.
And stuff. So, I mean, the gameplay is already nothing like
the Elder Scrolls. That's
like the regular Elder Scrolls, you know? So a lot of people are like, what's the point?
Yeah. And the Elder Scrolls is one series where the fans are very loyal to the storyline. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah. I mean, and that's why they said it 1,000 years.
Don't mess with the storyline, you know?
Well, that's why they said it 1,000 years before. They're in a safe time zone far away from everything.
Yeah,
you know?
Which is a good call for me, because I feel like if they were going to try and continue a little bit or build up the storyline and then have that in a subpar game, because Elder Scrolls has not released a subpar game.
No,
they really haven't. So let's hope this isn't the first. I'm staying very optimistic about it. Hopefully, when the beta rolls around, me and PJ will get that PAX going on.
Yeah.
And get you guys some beta footage on YouTube. That's a very early point for me to bring that up, but don't take that as a promise, but take that as we're going to do everything we can to make that happen.
I mean, I don't know. It was just announced, so I don't think beta will be anytime soon.
No,
but
not for a while. Not for a while. But keep that in the back of your mind, guys. If you're listening to the podcast for the first time or whatever, subscribe to the YouTube. Hopefully, a year from now, we'll have some work.
We'll have some.
For sure.
Well, I mean, we'll keep you guys updated on all the details and stuff like that.
I also heard the Firefall. This is totally unrelated that we didn't even talk about before, but I heard the Firefall beta seems to be kind of open. One of my friends who never gets into betas are saying that he got in, so it must be easy now.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up and see if
maybe we could
see if we could jump in.
Yeah.
Grab some footage and whatnot. Oh. But I mean, I'm personally not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, because I just wanted like the Borderlands co-op type thing.
Going a little overboard for you.
Yeah, well, I'm not at all going to. What do you call it? I'm not going to pay for it. I don't care. I mean, it's also not the gameplay.
Yeah, that's the big hard hitter for me. The hard hitter is you've been doing since I was a little kid. They've been doing this style of gameplay, and now all of a sudden, like 20 years later, we're gonna go in this direction. You know what I mean? Not quite that long, but let's, I'm definitely skeptical. I'm definitely excited to check it out because you guys know I love WoW. So whenever I hear something similar to WoW, I'm like, I'll sink my teeth into it. I'll definitely give it a try. But I'm very, very cautious about it. But we'll see. It's early, so we'll keep you guys updated.
Maybe I'll see a trailer that really gets me going or something. Who knows?
It's not there yet, but maybe it'll be there.
So the other big news was
we had a League of Legends tournament, big one.
Oh yeah, the what'd you even call it? Season 2.
Yes. So anybody in League knows we've been in Season 2 for a while. We were waiting for it for even longer, but we've been in it for a while now. And the Season 2 tournament is around, the quote-unquote $5 million tournament, which me and PJ were just looking this up earlier because it's a kind of a misleading name. The winner gets $3 million. And then I'm thinking $1 million goes to second and $1 million goes to third, or $2 million goes to second, something.
I think. I don't know. They're really, they make it very hard to find the information. Give me a page.
Yeah.
Or something to look at.
But if you guys if you're really into esports, this is going to be a fun one to watch. If you're not familiar with League, get loosely familiar with the rules and check it out because as far as esports goes, League of Legends is going to be forefront soon. I'm not saying it's going to be right there with StarCraft.
No, it's already more popular than StarCraft.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about offending anyone because it's just fact. No, League of Legends is just it brings in vastly bigger streaming numbers than StarCraft does. I mean, I don't know much about LoL yet.
Yeah.
I feel like I should. Eddie is hoping to teach me.
Yeah, I'm a big League of Legends player. Guys, I'm really into it. I love it.
But what do you call it? I think it's just because it's so easy to sign up and get into. Because it's free to play, right?
Yeah.
So they don't. It's not like StarCraft where you might get into it because you played the game originally.
Yeah. I mean,
stuff like
some of these guys who went all the way up to the top may have never even spent a dime on League. You don't need to spend anything on League of Legends. It doesn't affect your gameplay in any manner, shape, or form. What you can spend your money on are costumes. Don't affect the gameplay at all. Just changes the way you look. Or you can do the IP boosts and things like that, which are just giving you money in the game to buy things a little quicker, but you would get those things eventually anyway. So it's nothing ground-shaking that, if anybody ever played APB, you'd have the guys who spent money And then you have
Who
the guys...
played APP? Tell me.
I'm not gonna lie.
Who played APP?
I did. I played it for a while. I did.
You savage.
I did. But back when, but when it went free, I never paid money for APP. But you would have the guys who paid money and bought their guns, and then you have the guys who didn't buy their guns, and it was like being in two different divisions. I mean,
I was going to say anyone who bought their guns immediately destroyed everyone.
They just destroyed you. And I know that's a big debate, so we might have APP.
Well, they just didn't balance it. Like, it was stupid.
It really wasn't balanced. I mean, I know we'll have APB fans that are going to try and...
Nobody cares about that game.
Some people... It used to be a heated argument, but I'm telling you now, they're not balanced. So, League, it doesn't hit that level at all. Not even close. So I feel like maybe that's why they get so much more, but you guys should definitely check it out. It's going to be a really, really cool tournament.
Yeah, there'll be more. So looking at it, so a couple of things. The $5 million is the prize pool, and that $5 million, or $3 of that million, is spread out over a bunch of different events. They said the prize pool is split between the World Championships, which will take place in Los Angeles in October, the regional finals, which include an event at PAX Prime, which I should be going to.
Yep.
And then other events, I think there might be one or two outside the United States, which lead to the big event where the winning team gets $2 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the grand finals for a prize.
We do have like our big ones. Everyone knows the tournament in Germany. That was really big last year if you watched. You have the South Korea and mainland China one and Singapore, and then one in Taiwan. I believe that's all of them. That's all the ones outside of the United States. So there's 5 outside. But the one in Germany I know was huge last year.
That one went right up against the Invitational with Dota.
Yeah.
Dota had like a 1.6 million prize pool or something ridiculous. Well, it was like 1 million for the first team, and then 600,000 divided up between everyone else.
Yeah.
So that was pretty nuts.
So this is a great one to watch. I always try and keep up with the esports for our esport fans. Because it's just awesome. It's really fun to watch. They're going to be...
We do it for you, and we do it for us.
Yeah, definitely. So, to definitely keep up with that. And on the same note of League of Legends...
We
were talking a little bit about... League of Legends is partnered with Make-A-Wish. So this is kind of like... more of like a public service announcement kind of thing, more than gaming news, but it is news. They've partnered with Make-A-Wish Foundation. If you guys have a League of Legends account and you want... you've never bought a skin or you have bought skins, this is a cool one to pick up. If you pick the Jack skin, the Gladiator one, Jaximus, I believe is the name, 50% of it, maybe more, I may be wrong on the number, maybe even more than 50%, is going to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So check that out, guys. It's a good cause, and we all love the vanity aspect of these games anyway, so...
well, that's what LoL is built around, pretty much.
Yeah, that's how they make all their money. So, check that out. It's for a good cause, and you get a really cool skin out of it. It's probably one of his coolest skins. I played against somebody today who had it, and it was a really badass skin. I liked it. I really liked it. So, I might pick it up later tonight. I have PAX Jacks, but I think maybe I'll
PAX Jacks.
Yeah, but maybe I'll swap them every so often. But
yeah. So,
cool.
Last bit of news.
Yes, last part.
Bit of news. We got Black Ops 2 revealed.
Yes.
Actually, I think they revealed it a little bit early because somebody clicked the button on the site a little early, and the site popped up with like all this information before they took it down, and I guess they were like, well, guess it's a little late now because everyone caught on to it. But, so this is Black Ops 2. It's being developed by Treyarch, who did all the other... They did like... Call of Duty 2, they did World at War. They do all the games that nobody really likes.
Yeah.
They do all the side pattern games, because Infinity Ward is the one who did like 1, 3, and Modern Warfare, obviously.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But, this is... they're going to the future this time.
Yes.
They're going to 2025, and we're fighting robots.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not really.
For
the
me,
trailer is the most generic thing I've ever seen, and the graphics, man. For some reason they've been working with the same engine since like Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Or something, because the graphics in the trailers look horrendous nowadays. Or not nowadays. In this game, like they need to upgrade the engine ever so slightly.
Yeah, the last Black Ops was very disappointing graphics wise. Really, I never played the games very seriously until the last Black Ops. I really liked the last Black Ops. I'm not sure why. I played it on the computer, so I know there was some technical stuff with Xbox, PlayStation, but I played it on the computer, and I enjoyed it. I got really into it, was prestiging really fast. I liked it a lot. But it's one of those games that loses its steam as you go. You know, if you're not playing it competitively on a team, tournaments, you kind of get like, all right, I got the idea. Let me move on to something else. And that's kind of what happened to me. But I am excited about this. I think the future thing is kind of cool. I hate futuristic games. I haven't even played Mass Effect. I hate futuristic games so much. And I know that's like awful because Mass Effect is huge, but I'm just not a futuristic gaming fan, except Star Wars. I make an exception for Star Wars always.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I get that. I just think the storyline's generic. I mean, but then again, nobody ever plays Call of Duty for the
storyline, yeah.
Ever. You're a goddamn fool if you do. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. A couple other details. I'm not going to really go into stuff about the story because you can just go read about that. Bigger stuff that you guys are more likely interested in is in multiplayer details. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, the multiplayer will also take place in the 2025 universe. That should have been pretty obvious. Mm. All the previous stuff will be in the game, obviously, with little tweaks here or there. Yeah. They said the goal with the multiplayer at this point isn't to make it fun to play, because they did that already, but to make it fun to watch. Because Treyarch wants to break into the esports scene with this game. Yeah. Which Call of Duty was sort of... Call of Duty. It was sort of a unofficial esport here and there, because I remember Black Ops was at a bunch of MLGs. They had some streams and some pro players playing. I'm not sure how the scene has developed since then, though. I don't really follow it. And they're planning to integrate Call of Duty Elite at launch. Yeah. So... you can have all that there. For those wondering, though, the maps, like the past two games, will be exclusive to Xbox on launch. Mm-hmm. Not at launch, but you know how they have to appear on Xbox first, and then it'll be like 2 months before they appear on PC and PS3. Yeah. This isn't officially known, but 2 years ago, it was announced that Microsoft had made an exclusivity deal with Activision for 3 Call of Duty games. Mm-hmm. So, and this was during the year that Black Ops was released. Man, I can't talk today. So Black Ops was the first game. Modern Warfare 3 was the second game. Black Ops 2 would be the third game. So you should expect those maps to appear on Xbox first. Also, there will be zombie mode. Okay. So now that actually interests me. Out of everything in this game,
the zombie mode is what does
Zombie mode in the future, like future zombies.
That's going to be pretty cool. That's right.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the game. I mean, I try and stay optimistic until the games come out. After the games are out, then I kind of can give my real opinion. But with these, I'm staying optimistic about this one. Like I said, I liked the original Black Ops. So I'm interested to see what they do with round 2. But I wish... it really is such a deal breaker with me. And I know a lot of people say graphics don't matter. But it's such a deal breaker when...
They do at a certain point.
They really do. When a franchise is refusing to update their graphics, it gets very, very, very frustrating. It really does. It just gets frustrating because you feel like you just dropped $40 to $60 on the same game, really. Like, visually. When you first plug it in, you first hit the start button, you're like, ugh, it looks just like the other one. You know, and you'd love just to have something a little different, something more pulling. But, The only exception I've seen to that is the Global Offensive, the new Counter-Strike, because they're using the same engine, but the graphics are so good.
Well, no, but
nice.
The Source engine is built in a way so it can evolve over time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that they made it so that way that was.
So awesome. There's our exception, but when it comes to Call of Duty, we're not seeing that. There's no evolution in the graphics.
Well, no, because they're using Unreal.
Yeah.
I think they're using Unreal.
I'm pretty sure you're right. They are.
Because Unreal runs everything pretty much.
Yeah. But cool. That's about it for news. I don't think anything else has really happened this week in the way of gaming. Nothing huge, anyway.
No, that was all the biggest stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. We saw Avengers. We just went over that. Yeah. Go see it because it was awesome.
Yes. So that kind of brings us to our picks.
Before anyone asks, last week we said this week we would have Minecraft to talk about.
That's right.
That did not happen.
No, it didn't.
Because it's, like I said, last week of classes. But this week was extraordinarily busy. My sister Ashley was sick. Had to take her to the doctors. People had all these things and work and nonsense and ugh.
Yeah.
That's why you guys haven't seen any of the videos up. So
yeah.
I'm not even going to promise it'll be up next week because then I'll feel even worse. But the hope is to record tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night have some Minecraft up and just have fun with that, show you guys.
Because I know nothing about Minecraft, so you and I will just be running around screaming.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Be amazing.
It'll be really fun.
And we do some of that stuff. And then... So So this week, we picked another couple of games to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So Eddie, I went first last week. So
yes, it's my turn to go first this week. I chose another 3DS game. I will not always choose 3DS games, I promise.
No, but that's what you're into right now. It's
3DS is like my new toy, So I've been loving that game. I guess you could call it like a mini console, but the handheld is awesome. I really do like it. So, I chose.
It is a handheld.
It is a handheld. So the Legend of Zelda port from
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time. Great game back in the day. So the big question on any potential buyer's mind is how does it translate onto the 3D?
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Anyone who is a Zelda fan is a Zelda nut job.
Yeah.
And will probably bought it at launch.
Yeah.
So,
but if you're on the edge and like when I was...
For the non-fans who might be curious.
Yeah, I was looking at the 3DS games I should buy, games I could buy, and that was really the thing that I had a problem with, because I've played Zelda Ocarina of Time. I've played it on the Nintendo 64 when I was young, and I felt the nostalgia from it. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I remember Zelda being a very involved, long game, and if I'm going to sit down and play through that, it better translate well. Because I don't want to play something that's just a pain to play. Because then I'm just not going to play it, and I just spent $40 on a handheld game that I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
Because it is pricey. Anybody who knows, even if you're getting it used, it's pricey. So I went out, I picked it up. I really have enjoyed it. The 3D translates awesome. I haven't had a game yet, though I've checked for this. I've asked about this to people.
Yeah.
So
you got to be real careful.
I've really checked this, so that's why I haven't come across a game where I hate the 3D yet. Because I have been checking with people and making sure that the 3D... Because if the 3D is bad, it's going to really, really piss me off. So I was like, let me do my background check on it. So I heard the 3D translated okay. The next big question was, how are the controls? Because, you guys know, to replicate the controls from Nintendo 64 onto anything is really difficult. It was a really unique controller. And you had the yellow buttons for the Ocarina, and it was just different on the 64. So bringing it over onto the 3DS, I feel like they did a decent job. They really were able to map out what they wanted on the touchscreen portion the bottom screen and what they wanted on the top screen. So the top screen is obviously your actual gameplay. The bottom screen is your constant map, your inventory. You can zoom in on the map. And the last one is your gear, to change, the tunic and change your weapon, shield, and all that. So that's all on the bottom there. And then in the bottom left, you can bring up your Orc Arena. So that's the way they're working it. The cool thing is you bring up the Orc Arena, and all the buttons on the 3DS are different notes on the Orc Arena. For some reason, that just struck me as really cool. It really felt more realistic than just doing the yellow buttons. I don't know. Probably not going to affect your gameplay experience terribly.
But it was still.
But cool. It was one of those things that, I was like, oh man, this is pretty cool. Something I did not like is the target lock-on is really sketchy. If you guys have the game, you know what I mean. Because it's one of those things that is an obvious problem, like your first mob that you fight against. You're like, wow, this targeting's terrible. Because you're holding down the left trigger, I guess you would call it, or the bumper, and you're holding that down and trying to move around, and you won't always be on target, but it'll look like you're on target, and then you'll go to move, and now the guy's behind you, and he's wailing on your back. It kind of was frustrating. So you'll get the trip when you hear Navi, the little fairy, yell out, hey, then you know you're locked in, which is annoying, but that's the only way I was really able to do it. And then even further, when you are locked onto a target, you're able to click the little icon of your fairy. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it right, Navi.
Yeah,
and it's bringing up how to beat the boss, or how to kill that mob, or if it's a new mob that you've seen, it's something that you want a refresher on. Even if you played the old version on the 64, you don't remember. So I'd come up to bosses and I'd be like, I don't remember this at all. The problem is when you're holding that, you have to be holding the left bumper in order to have the option to even have Navi tell you.
Oh, okay.
And that button is awkwardly placed far away. Now, you have to be moving, and you have to be kind of jumping with your A and stuff, so you would actually have to cross over with your right hand and try and touch the leftmost corner of the screen, all while this boss is trying to, rip you in half. So it was kind of frustrating because I would lose some fights just trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do? I'm just trying to hit the thing so I can hear what I have to do. So that was really frustrating. I feel like the controls could have been mapped out a little better. They could have put that on the opposite side of the touchscreen, the right side by your right hand. So you still move, hit that real quick, and then jump right in. It would have been so much easier. But if you're going to do it with your left hand, you have to stop moving. And if you're going to do it with your right hand, you literally have to, pick the 3DS up over to your right thumb. It's really a weird, unnatural hand position you got to do to get it done. So I found that really frustrating. It sounds like nitpicky, but it really affects the gameplay. When you're coming across, if you're just flying through the temples, you kind of remember some of the puzzles. Some of them you don't, but you're still moving at a decent pace. You'll find it happening a lot. It'll be oh, I remember this puzzle, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do to this mob in particular. And you're just oh, you have to try and do that thing again, and then again, and then again, and it was getting frustrating. There was a couple of the temples where there's just a lot of unique mobs in them, and it was just man, it was so frustrating. But I got through it. But it sounds like I'm being hard on it, but really the game was great. It translated really well. The controls were solid. The 3D were solid. The only problem was that one minor
button thingy.
But yeah, kind of complication with the buttons that they could have done better, and it affects it. Unfortunately, it's minor.
Well, no, I mean controls are a big deal. I mean that's why everyone isn't into Kid Icarus right now, because you have to contort your fingers in a really awkward position in order to play the game, and your hands wind up being sore, and the game just isn't fun to play anymore.
Exactly, and realistically, where are we playing the 3DS? I mean, we're not 8 years old. We're not like, you know, we're not like sitting there like while mom's driving playing it. You know, if we're college age, you know, above, we're playing it on break from work. We're playing it maybe at work if you have that kind of job where you just got to do that. Or, you know, in class or on break from class. You're doing it in, like, public downtime. You're online for something. You're waiting for something. You're in a commute. You know, I'm from New York, so, you know, the commute... well,
yeah, you guys...
If you're commuting...
you guys take trains everywhere.
Yeah, so if you're commuting for, like, an hour, that's an hour's worth of Zelda I get to play, so... you don't want to be contorting your hands and looking like a weirdo, you know, on the bus or train or something, and the game makes you do that when you have to do that specific control. Everything else, the controls are very smooth. So, it seemed like they thought out all the other controls so well. I just wish they thought that one out a little further, but, really, the game, I've been having a blast with it. I am so close to being done. I really wished I was totally done with the game. To tell you guys, you know, because I hate to give a review of a game before I actually have beat the level.
Well, I mean, you just count it as impressions.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm right there. I'm right up to the last boss pretty much, and all the encounters have just really done the original justice. So, if you're familiar with the original, you really will be pleasantly surprised by it. If you're not familiar with the original, get it, because it's a classic, and it's really one of those games that are a true gamer's game, you know, so definitely go pick it up. I liked it. I'd say buy it, but you'll know what I mean about that control as soon as you play it.
Alright, sweet.
Yeah, so what about you, Peach?
I got nothing. I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, I didn't really play. I mean, I played StarCraft all week.
Yeah.
Played StarCraft all week. I mean, I put out one video of me doing Fun Day Monday, but that's about it. I just been playing, trying to rank up because I'm still stuck in Platinum.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't have anything this week. The only other thing I played was I played more Lone Survivor, but I talked about that last week.
Yeah, we have some more video of that on
on
the YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, we got 3 parts now.
Still working through it. I bought a new monitor. I can't remember if I told you or not.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
24 inches widescreen.
Awesome.
So I've been recording in that, and I'm just trying to. It's screwed up some like my recordings a little bit, so I gotta finagle my way through that with my editing program and whatnot. But yeah, I got no game this week. Hopefully next week we'll have a bunch of new stuff for you.
Yeah.
The goal here is to, hopefully by next week we should have at least Minecraft and hopefully the first part of Eddie trying to teach me LOL.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Up on the channel, up on the YouTube channel.
Cool.
But yeah, guess that could be it for the podcast.
That kind of wraps us up, yeah.
Yeah, we got another short one on our hands, but that's okay.
So just a little bit about the future, what we're looking for this week. We talked a little bit about the iTunes. You know, hopefully our aim is kind of there, but really we want to get our YouTube channel up there a little bit before we make that jump.
What the hell is this?
What?
Why did you send me this link?
Which one did I send you?
The Gary one.
Oh, yeah, I love that guy. I don't know why I sent you that. I thought I was sending you the League of Legends thing.
Well, I just noticed that the Skype thing glowing, like just now, and I was like, what? Why? I was like, why is it doing that? And I look at the bottom, there's a link to
it's to Gary Oak. You got to check out his Facebook. It's so funny. It's really, really funny. He has such funny comics on there. He has one where it's it's like a thing of the very first town you're in the very first Pokemon, and it's like a map. It's so funny. It really is hysterical. And like it's all about how annoying Gary Oak is in all of the games. It's so funny. It's really good. You guys would like it. It's awesome. He has the funniest memes and stuff. But I didn't mean to send that. That's really funny.
There are 8 badges to earn in Kanto.
Yeah.
Gary's got 10.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love
And to be perfectly honest, some of those badges aren't even from Kanto. I'm not going to lie. I'm totally nerdy enough to know that. Those badges, some of them didn't even come from there. But, okay, yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
I saw that there, and I was like, what? So, yeah, iTunes, that's in the future, probably not this week, maybe next, as soon as I finagle my way through all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely we're going to have some LOL, hopefully some Minecraft, and of course tomorrow's Fun Day Monday, which means if I don't make it on the show again, then there will be another video of me attempting to be on the show. And, more of the stuff. I'm going to try and record some, there's just a huge update to Counter-Strike, so they added some new maps. I'm going to go try out Arms Race.
Yeah.
Some gameplay. There should be some of that. More Lone Survivor, as usual. More the usual. For now.
And one thing we don't talk about that often, check out our live stream. We have,
we just got verified, so.
Yeah, if you go to livestream.com/MegaMidnightGaming, all one word, you can go on there, check, even if we aren't currently streaming, which we'll always post on Facebook before we do, there's some cool recordings, and whenever I live stream, I'm going to now record it and archive it for you guys. So you just go to the bottom to our library, and you can watch one of our videos. So if you missed a live stream, you can kind of get...
and we have old stuff that auto-plays on there, too. So
if
you are curious about what's up on there. Right now, we just got the WoW thing, and the first Counter-Strike stuff that you live-streamed is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I should probably put a link to that in the Facebook page somewhere. Let me see if I can do that. But yeah. Otherwise, I think we're done.
Yeah. So
is that it?
Have a good week in gaming, guys. Enjoy. And we'll see you guys next week. Well, sooner on the YouTubes, but here next week. Cool. Take care, guys. See you.
It's a world exclusive. Radio 1. World exclusive. Radio 1.